Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Yeah.
Good evening. As we honor America, the flag and the national anthem.
Working. I'm not getting anything. It's not working. Great. Have it.
Number 1, Taylor Marks. Number 7. And number 23, Noah Rio. Number 3, Cooper Washington. A 6'2", outside hitter from Wheeling. Number 7, Jared Bowser. A 6' libero from Naperville. Number 11, Danny Miller. A 6'6" opposite hitter from Greenwood, Indiana. Number 13, Luke Big. A 6'7" setter from Lemonster. Number 18, Tyler Donovan. A 6'7" middle blocker from Frisco, Texas. Number 27, Mitchell Hector. North Central is coached by Kyle Hector. He is assisted by Kaylee Herman, Colin Escalico, and student assistant Kate Gold.
Cardinals.
Are we supposed to hear ourselves at all or no?
The number 3 ranked California Lutheran Kingsmen taking on the number 9 ranked North Central College Cardinals in a top 10 matchup. Set number 1, about to commence here from Gregory Arena. The Cardinals and Cal Lutheran, Andy Acum, Sam Corbett with you on Cardinal All Access. It'll be Austin Scott to do the serving for North Central to start the first set. We are away from Gregory Arena. First serve from Scott. Returned by the Kingsmen. That's Ben Weber, a strong kill for Cal Lutheran to start tonight's matchup.
Weber immediately finding a hole on North Central's defense. Moser the closest guy there, but a lot of heat off the hand of Weber to start.
It'll be Moser, Austin Scott, the libero for North Central, Danny Smithers, Tyler Donovan, Jared Moser, and Luke Schmidt. Cooper Lundahl as well. Donovan up, Scott coming across strong. And the first points of the night for North Central come from the junior Austin Scott.
Give credit to Jared Moser on that one too. A really strong serve on display from Taylor Marks with a ball being sent really high in the air. Moser able to corral the heat off of that as well.
Serve from Cooper Lundahl. Up and a return the other way. A kill and a point for Cal Lutheran. Michael Stahl, the outside hitter, senior from Northridge, California.
Luke Schmidt just not able to handle that one. Noah Rigo, middle blocker, had a good deke in the middle.
Scott, first touch on the serve there. Donovan to Hester in the point. Back and forth affair so far, 2-2. It will be Donovan to serve, the senior from Lindenhurst. Plenty of awards for Tyler Donovan in his years for this program. We're going to give the Cardinals their first lead of the evening. First return by the libero. For Cal Lutheran, that would be Marks at a point collected. Scott unable to handle that one for the Cards.
Tough to gauge with Scott. Cal Lutheran, the Kingsmen, had the ball ricochet a couple of times.
Back to serve, Vince Simone. An outside hitter, freshman from Sacramento. Light touch over, Moser the receive. Donovan to Moser, just getting it over for the Cards. Turn the other way. By 16, that's Jordan Cooper, a man to watch out for the Kingsmen. And an attack by Scott. Originally was ruled point Cards, but has been since changed. 4-2 now in favor of Cal Lutheran.
Yeah, the judge on the near corner on the right side signaling it was in, and immediately both the Kingsmen and 2 other judges had to make the change. Just about a foot off from the line.
It'll be Simone to serve once again. Smithers, first touch for the Cards. Donovan up for Schmidt, flying across on the outside. Instant return from the Kingsmen. Jordan, Donovan able to receive that one. Smithers up, got to get it over here. Moser was blocked at the front line. Smithers again, setting up Schmidt. Lofts that one over. Initial return at first touch by Simone. And a point for the Cardinals.
Might be one of the easiest points Jared Moser's going to get tonight, but that was just a served-up cookie. Big, strong right hand from Jared Moser. Talk about a lot of Tyler Donovan awards. Jared Moser got Tyler Donovan beat, handful or more, but getting him back for his 5th year was a great re-addition to the Cards.
And Moser, if he isn't one of the most decorated players in this program's history, and a way too much mustard on that one from Jared, a service error gives a point right back to Cal Lutheran.
Seeing Moser post-practice still practicing his serves, there's a lot of correlation with him with how quickly he can swing his arm down. It is a violent return for him.
Stahl got the first serve there. Donovan to Scott over for the Cards. Sending it over to the other side. Stahl. And just outside. Point for North Central, back to a 1-point set.
Great read there from Danny Smithers, the libero. Transfer out of Concordia Irvine. D1 program out in California. Good awareness of the court spacing there.
And the new man checked in. That would be number 20, Gabriel Martinez, to serve for the Cardinals. How about that attack there? Boris Horak. No response there. Catching himself flat-footed was Jared Moser. New Cal Lutheran to serve once again. That is the 6'4" senior from Roseville, California, Jordan Cooper. Cooper right off the front of the net. A couple service errors in this set. This one favors the Cards. Talk about a top 10 team, Sam. A top 10 matchup that would be. The number 9 Cardinals, the number 3 ranked Cal Lutheran. A top 10 matchup. One of the best, if not the best matchup to watch tonight and this weekend in Division III men's volleyball. Nice first touch there by Schmidt. Smithers to the floor to keep it up, and Scott will get it over for the Cards. Response the other way. Soft touch. Weber. Schmidt to keep it up. Smithers again. How about this effort from the back line of North Central? Moser. Donovan flying across. Jared Moser. Point Cards.
Right through the middle. Jared Moser. Full head of steam. Some authority on the right hand on that one.
Back to serve for North Central. That would be number 13, Luke Schmidt, the senior from Greenwood, Indiana. Getting it over. Weber, first touch. That one still kept off the floor. Austin Scott, Cooper Lundahl thought the Cards had a point there on that block. And Lundahl collects it that time with the kill.
Ball don't lie. It was a bit scary to see both Cooper and Austin fist pump, acting like that they had already won the point, but then staying aware as the rally continued. Lundahl going up for the final kill.
3 straight points for the Cards. They got a 7-6 lead here in this first set. In a huge matchup for them. Service error there by Schmidt. We're tied at 7. We ask, well, how big is this matchup, Sam? You look at the resume from Cal Lutheran coming into this one. They're 6-1. Head coach Kevin Judd riding the ship this season and really knotting things together. Out of their 6 wins, Smithers' first touch here, to Donovan, and Moser will look to get it over, and he does! And the kill, Jared Moser!
The 6-1 Kingsman record compared to North Central's only playing in their 3rd game this season. They've had a couple exhibition matches against McKendree and St. Xavier, but opening the season with a 3-0 sweep from Dominican. Surprised to see 0-1 record next to this team, and then a easily handling of Adrian College the other day. But this Cal Lutheran team going to be a great setup for the game tomorrow as well, as North Central takes on the Benedictine Eagles.
Tyler Donovan, the block there. The big man, 6'8" from Lindenhurst. But yes, 5 out of those 6 wins for Cal Lutheran, Sam, have been against ranked teams. The only non-ranked win is the only win North Central has, both taking down Adrian, and the only loss they have this year against the Division I Cal State Northridge team. That was back on Tuesday the 16th. And a point there, putting it within 1. We want to talk about the gauntlet that Cal Lutheran had this past weekend. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They beat all 3 top 25 teams in the Slugfest hosted by University of California, Santa Cruz, taking down another CCIW school, number 8 Carthage. As Smithers on the return here. Donovan up. Moser down. And the kill. Automatic is Jared Moser.
Pinpoint accuracy from the 5th year. And it's just point after point as North Central continues to slowly climb away from the Kingsmen. Just the overall energy here inside Gregory Arena has been great.
Lundell to serve. Marks up for Stahl and the kill. Michael Stahl taking care of it. Back and forth. It remains a 1-point Cardinal lead.
North Central finally able to utilize Mitchell Hester this season. Last 2 years battled various injuries. Just saw the frustration on his face as North Central's program success the last couple of years. He had to watch from the sidelines, and you can tell he's playing full energy in his first full season.
Smithers keeps it off the floor near the Cardinal bench. Donovan, Moser, cross-court pass. Look for the denial from Cal Lutheran. That one well out of play, and the Cardinals regain a 2-point lead.
When we had talked with Tyler Donovan earlier, trying to get a sense of the pedigree of this matchup, he had said that the first set's really going to be a big determining factor into who walks away with this victory tonight. Donovan about to serve. But just to get a sense of how much these teams respect each other and how much this could affect the overall landscape.
Marks, a nice setup there to Jordan Cooper for the kill. 5-2 all-time of the Cardinals against Cal Lutheran. Last matchup, Kingsmen took it 3-0 back on February 18th, 2023 when the Cardinals made that trip out to Thousand Oaks, California. They did win 2 days prior on the 16th against Cal Lutheran. 3-1 was the score of that one. To serve here, Simone. First touch, Moser. Donovan passes over to Schmidt in the kill. Luke Schmidt as well. And all over the place. North Central homing firm to that 2-point lead right now. It'll be Moser to serve. How huge is it for this program to get Jared Moser back for another season, Sam? Was unsure if he'd ever put on the Cardinal uniform again, but here he is in the 2024 campaign, and an ace for Jared Moser.
Too hot to handle, targeting the libero, Logan Marks. Again, getting Moser back has just been so crucial. Pretty much good chunk of the starters from last year's national championship run graduated. Obviously, you get the likes of Tyler Donovan and Austin Scott back, but Moser is just the heart and soul of the team this year.
Moser to serve again, battle at the net. Cardinals able to keep it on the Cal Lutheran side. They're going to call a ball handling error. Cardinals taking the last 2 points, last 3 points that would be. It's now 14-10. Moser trying to go on a little run of his own here. See Coach Kyle Exline barking out orders near the North Central bench. Moser, high toss before the serve right off the front of the net. Point to Cal Lutheran, they'll get the serve back here.
Now serving, 17.
So the Michael Stahl, 6'5", from Northridge, California. But over, first touch, Smithers the libero. Donovan, Hester, down strong, and a kill.
Cal Lutheran celebrating. It looks like Hester's shot landed just beyond the line. Cards initially celebrated, assuming that one of the Kingsmen had tipped it, but that judge on the far side signaled otherwise.
It's been a couple calls that have been overturned throughout this set, and a serve there from Stahl, just over the back line. Cardinals take the point back on the service error. Hester and Smithers out. Lundell and 20. Gabriel Martinez to serve for North Central. Check back into the ballgame. Martinez over. First touch Marks to Marks again. Quick point collected there for Jordan Cooper. He's had a few of those in this set.
It's a tough error on this near side of the court. Some communication errors between Schmidt and Lundell.
Just the second home match for North Central this year, getting Adrian over the weekend. They've had 6 days in between matches. Donovan coming across Schmidt, defended by Stahl. Battle at the net, whiffing on it there. Horak was going for the kill on the attack and mistimed his jump. Cardinals will take advantage.
Yeah, left the ground just a bit too early on that one. You could tell the attempted second effort trying to stretch out with that hand.
It'll be Luke Schmidt to serve once again. Cardinals hold on to a 3-point lead in set number 1. Coming across, Weber. Smithers, that one off his forearm and directly behind.
Cross court with the left. Good shot from Weber.
Maybe the big man, Boris Horak, to send it over. Floating it over, does he? First touch, Moser. Donovan was going to set it up. Instead, takes care of the attack himself, collects the point in the kill.
Some trickery from Tyler. Great job there from the senior. Said earlier in the season, or rather early in the preseason, that was one of his favorite drills, working on the fake set and just send it over.
Scott to serve. Marks cross court. Weber, soft touch over, but the Cardinals had an answer at the front line. Smithers. Donovan going to set something up here. Moser flying across, and no answer from the Kingsmen. And a timeout taken. 18-14 here in this first set. Cardinals have a 4-point lead. They're going to look to hold on and go one set above on the number 3 team in the country, the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds for North Central Volleyball on Cardinal All Access. here from Gregory Arena. Cardinal All Access bringing North Central men's volleyball in a huge top 10 matchup in the country. Number 3 Cal Lutheran in town taking on your number 9 ranked North Central College Cardinals. Andy Ockham, Sam Corbett here with you. And Sam, a great start for the Cardinals in the set. They're going to look to close things out with an 18-14 lead as it stands coming out of timeout.
When they dug themselves out of an early hole, early on the Cards were hitting under 200. They've now doubled that, hitting 409 compared to the Kingsman 350 hitting percentage.
The Austin Scott to serve. He's on the floor right now with Smithers, Schmidt, Donovan Lundahl, and Jared Moser. Scott driving it over, and an ace for Austin Scott. First touch was by number 7, Ben Weber, the outside hitter. But no answer from the senior. Scott will serve once again. Soft touch from Scott toward the back row. Weber setting up Noah Rigo. That went off the front of the net. Cardinals, first team to reach 20. They're up 6.
Love the energy from Lundahl there, immediately backing off, saying, no, not me, not me.
Scott to serve once again, looking to make it 3 points in a row. Noah Rigo, 23, recently subbed in for Cal Lutheran. First touch, Jordan. Marks to Weber across. Scott responds. Donovan, Moser, and the kill. We're going to be calling that connection all season long in Gregory Arena. Donovan to Moser for the point.
Throughout the early stage of this first set, Moser just demonstrating that he's a power first guy, but just like that late, when you're expecting him to come back again with it, the finesse touch with the right from the 5th-year senior.
The Cardinals have come to play. 7-point lead. Coming out of the timeout, it was 18-14 in favor of North Central. They've gone on to pick up the following 3. And how about Jared Moser? 7 kills for number 7 in this first set for North Central. And Sam, we talked about it right when we got on air. The amount of difference in games played from these two teams. Cal Lutheran a 6-1 record coming into today, 1-1 for North Central. You had to wonder how that would be the difference. Cal Lutheran being more experienced, beating 5 ranked opponents. And for North Central, maybe they got fresher legs, fresher blood, but even then, they haven't played since the 20th, 6 days ago when they took down Adrian. So there's going to be a little bit of rust against what Cal Lutheran had. They went through that gauntlet in the Santa Cruz Slugfest last weekend, taking on 3 and defeating 3 top 25 teams. Number 8, Carthage. Number 13, UC Santa Cruz. Number 10, NYU, beating them by a combined score of 9-3. This is an impressive showing from North Central, considering all that Cal Lutheran has done so far this year.
Well, again, you have to take a look at, as well, who North Central has played. An unranked Dominican they got swept by on January 18th, and then Adrian College, the lone opponent that both of these teams have faced. Adrian College not ranked, and an easy 3-0 sweep for the Cards. And again, North Central's playing frustrated. Yes, they're 5-2 against Cal Lutheran, but the last matchup you mentioned, Andy, earlier on, it was a 3-0 sweep out in California.
Scott to serve again. Marks to Weber across, and there's a point for the Kingsmen.
Those big bodies up front, Lundahl and Donovan, making it tough to get over, but when both guys are right there, it leaves an open spot. Tough assignment for Smithers to try and man that half the court.
Smithers, the libero for North Central. That'd be number 9, Logan Marks, the libero for Cal Lutheran. Donovan to Schmidt, flying across. First touch there from Logan Marks. Weber now on the attack. They haven't even awarded a point to anyone, and now who's going to the Cards? They're back up 7.
Cross off the bingo sheet. Is that the third time?
Third time we've had a miscommunication or a switching of a call on a point in just the first set. Michael Shevs making his first appearance in this matchup, the outside hitter from Brookfield, Wisconsin. Put the Cardinals up by 8. Flying across, driving that serve over. Shevs again on the first touch. Moser electing not to use the third touch, going for it right away. Stahl diving out Schmidt there. Donovan to Moser. Answered by the Kingsmen. Another mistimed jump, but this one is over for Cal Lutheran. Good save by Moser, gonna say out of play, and a point back to Cal Lutheran.
And rightfully so. North Central got every right. Carson Eggert on the bench, hands on his head, saying, what happened there? Moser going around the court, trying to hit the net over, but tough call there. Again, going back to Moser going for the second hit, trying to send it over. Had to rotate across his body to get that shot over. Really athletic play there.
Scott flying across. And a foul from Austin Scott on that kill. They're 2 points away from taking this first set.
I mean, that kill sent a sonic boom throughout Murner. Extra oomph behind that ball.
And it'll be Tyler Donovan to serve. Cardinal bench has been into it this entire set. Very energetic group. Donovan over. Marks to Stahl. Hester in the front line, say no there. Cross court, Jordan. Smithers to Moser. Marks the other way to Stahl. Donovan has to back it. He said, my bad. There's Austin Scott on the recovery. Smithers has to get it over here, and he does. Marks to Cooper. Luke Schmidt in the front line. A block for number 13, and it's set point for North Central.
Get ready for the NCC chance. Got to give credit to the Kingsman, number 19, Parker Brown, taking that initial send away from the Cards, keeping the rally alive, but North Central just saying so strong and resilient here, trying to close out this first set.
Donovan to serve. Let's touch Weber. Marks to Stahl in the kill. Nothing Smithers could do about that one there. Cal Lutheran trying to bring a little life for themselves back into this set.
Vince Simone, true freshman out of Sacramento, checking in.
Simone was serving earlier on in this set for Cal Lutheran. They trail by 7. A lot of work for them to do here. Moser, Donovan, Hester. Almost got him there. Resetting, Scott, Donovan. Tough play at the net. Schmidt's able to get it over for the Cards. Here comes Stahl in a kill. Back-to-back points recorded by number 17, Michael Stahl.
I mean, the middle third of the court was just wide open. Back row playing right at that back line, and then that front row of Schmidt, Hester, and Donovan just all crowded around each other near the net.
Simone floats it over. Moser, Donovan, back to Moser. Cardinals take set 1.
Had another delayed call there for these referees, making sure they saw the right call. But again, we mentioned it earlier. Tyler Donovan, when we spoke with him earlier, said that winner of the first set is going to give a really good mindset as to how this matchup overall is going to play out. Really setting the tone after one. And again, Cal Lutheran had some early rallies, but the Cardinals just kept fighting back. And then once they got any sort of heat, they were able to keep rallying.
And a lot of Donovan to Moser connections to get this set going. Multiple kills for Jared Moser. We'll have all the stats and more previewing the second set when we come back in just a couple minutes for North Central men's volleyball on Cardinal All Access. Set number 2, moments away from Gregory Arena here on Cardinal All Access. North Central Men's Volleyball, Andy Ockham and Sam Corbett here with you. Cardinals take set number 1, 25-18. And Sam, a lot of good things to look at from the first set, but it's hard to look at the stats in front of us without acknowledging the man, the myth, the legend, Jared Moser. 8 kills on 10 total attacks, on fire per usual to start this one off.
I mean, it's just the velocity that Moser's able to produce on any sort of hit is absurd. Whether he's approaching from the back line to send the ball away on a serve, or if he's just going up for a kill. And then we saw on one of his points in that first set, just the light touch that he's able to display as well. He's going to fool you and scare you with the velocity and that speed out of the right hand, and then he'll just lightly touch it over with the left.
It will be first serve for Cal Lutheran. That's 17, Michael Stahl. He had 5 kills on 9 attacks in the first set, with a couple digs as well. For the Cardinals, starting off, it'll be Donovan, Scott, Smithers, Moser, Lundahl, and Luke Schmidt. Schmidt as well picked up a crucial kill toward the back end of that first set.
North Central nearly doubling Cal Lutheran's attack percentage, 39% clip to 21.
Donovan to Lundahl coming across. They're going to award a late point once again to the Cardinals. That one tipped by the outside hitter of the Kingsmen.
Yeah, Boris Horick, first off, quite possibly the Andy Yakum name of the game. I don't think we've come up with a name for that award just yet, but showing some frustration there. Refs giving some questionable calls to both teams.
Cross court there. That would be Cooper to Stahl collecting the point. The name of the game. We had the name of the season we were trying to find during football. But as of right now, I like the name of the game. I don't want to pin one guy with the name of the year.
It rhymes?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big advertising thing. If it rhymes, if it's catchy.
Boris Horick, wearing 20 for Cal Lutheran. Donovan to Moser, and a point for North Central. Let's talk about Horick too, Sam, the junior. He's a tall drink of water. 6'10" is he?
Well, keep in mind, Andy, these guys are viable. When our 5'11" Kings, who will, I'll say I'm 6 foot, but all these guys are going to tower over me anyway.
Speaking of tall, 6'8", Tyler Donovan serving here. First touch, Weber. Marks back to Weber. And a point for North Central, just outside.
Good job there from Luke Schmidt earlier in one of the Kingsmen's points. So, he wasn't able to see a tip off of his own teammate and let that ball fall out of bounds when he could have gone for it. On that one, though, good awareness of his spacing on the court.
Donovan over, and an ace! Tyler Donovan's picked up the last 3 points, or has at least helped in doing so via serving.
Jordan Cooper's doing a really good job getting to the ball, but he's having a tough time handling whether it's Moser, Donovan, any of these Cardinals servers so far.
Donovan over. Marks to Horick, and Tyler Donovan from the seat of his pants able to keep it off the ground. Over to Moser, and a point for Cal Lutheran.
Schmidt had to help out near Donovan once he fell. And after that ball ricocheted, would have been right where Schmidt was positioned originally, but tough to get back there after he slipped.
The libero, Logan Marks out, 23, Noah Rigo in, and it will be Horick to serve for the Kingsmen. Smithers, the libero, to keep it off the ground. Donovan, cross-court, Schmidt. Moser, Donovan, back to Moser again, and denied by the front line. Ben Weber with the block and the point. Back-to-back points now for the Kingsmen. Once again to serve, it will be Horick. Smithers to Donovan to Hester. Mitchell Hester gets the Cards back on the board. Nice kill there for number 27.
Scanning the court, seeing where Kingsmen weren't positioned. Targeting Horick as well with the right. Just beyond the outstretched hands of Horick, who's going to check out.
Hester, the sophomore from Frisco, Texas, a rotating player last year as a freshman. Becoming more of a regular in year number 2 in this Cardinal program. Marks cross-court, Weber. Late violation on the Cards. Right near the net, awards Cal Lutheran. Another point, it's 5-4. To serve here, it's Taylor Marks, the junior from Woodland, California. Smithers to Donovan, cross court, Scott, the touch, and the point. Talk about finesse, Sam. It's not all about the velocity and the power. Austin Scott displaying that there.
And Kyle Exline's going to focus more on finesse as well. Back in the freshman libero, Martinez, set to serve.
Martinez over. Marks. Right across, and a point collected there by Michael Stahl.
Off that right forearm of Lindahl.
Michael Stahl's been impressive so far. He had 5 kills in the first set. He's helped collect a couple points for the Kingsmen here in what has been an early, tight set number 2. Cross Schmidt on the Lutheran side. Marks to Stahl. Back-to-back kills for Michael Stahl. We're tied at 6.
The kill from Stahl, but the libero Logan Marks probably a half of a tenth of a second on that reaction time from the attempted kill from the Cards. Keeping it alive, and like you said, he's been a big reason why it has felt so back and forth, both through the first 12 points of the second set and that whole first set.
Weber, a high toss. So he's able to serve it over. Donovan to Lundahl in the point.
Lundahl, the eyes looking right, and the right arm, cross body, downward kill to the left side, had the Kingsmen fooled the entire way.
Lundahl, no kills in the first set, collects one in set number 2 to regain the lead for the Cards at 7-6. Too much on that one from Luke Schmidt. We're tied once again.
I like the strategy of going with the knuckleball serve. After the Kingsmen have been seeing a lot of heat recently, but again, when you float it, you run that risk of it just staying in the air a bit too much.
To serve here, Simone, light touch, the libero. Smithers right there, first on it. Marks, impressive toss over to Jordan Cooper. Attack there by Lundahl, immediately responded to by the front line. Here comes Scott in the kill. Austin Scott having himself a nice couple of sets here.
I mean, there's a near impossible chance to return that.
Scott awarded with the opportunity to serve here. He had 8 kills in the 3-0 win against Adrian back on the 20th in the Cards' last match. Marks. And a soft touch there from Jordan Cooper. Cooper had the most kills in their match against NYU on Sunday. He had 16.
Donovan just got fooled by one of his own moves, too.
8-8. Stahl to serve. Sprawling out to the floor to keep it off is Scott. He's immediately responding to it again on an attack by Jordan Cooper. Cooper again. This time he gets it.
Donovan trying to sky up. Attempting to make contact with the palm instead. Meaty chunk of the forearm. Not enough to get it over the net there.
Another high toss from Stahl. Get it over. Moser to defend it. Donovan back to Moser. Just out of play. Cal Lutheran on a run of their own here. They're up 2. It'll be Stahl to serve. Smithers nearly face planting to get that one off. Donovan to Schmidt. And a ball handling error will give a point back to North Central. The Lundahl to serve. He was 3rd on the team in kills against Adrian with 7 and tied for 2nd with 3 blocks in that victory. Marks to Horick. Jared Moser doing the work there on the front line. Across. And a block. Mitchell Hester. We're tied at 10.
Hester, Donovan, and Moser. All of them getting in on the action.
10-10. Another serve coming from Lundahl. Marks across. Jordan Cooper. This time Donovan was ready for the fake out. Cross court to Moser. Kept off the floor by the Kingsmen. Stahl coming across. Schmidt's there. Scott again, and another point. Have a second set. Austin Scott, Cards up 1.
Logan Marks feeling the need to retreat to that back line. Austin catching a little bit of break from the net as well, but he's not going to complain.
That one right off the net for Lundahl. We're tied at 11. To serve, it's Jordan Cooper. Mentioned his 16 kills. Back in their last match. Number 10 NYU was not a cakewalk. They had to win it in 4 sets. There's Mitchell Hester right on cue, reasserting the lead for North Central.
Hester logging only 1 kill on 3 attempts in that first set. It's the overall energy, though, of Hester, mentioned earlier. Started off his career here with injuries, playing with a bit more of a chip on his shoulder than others.
Marks to Weber. Kingsmen tie it back up at 12. We've had a lot of ties. In the first set alone, there were 4 ties and only 1 lead change. I'll be interested to see, when it's all said and done, how many different lead changes and ties we'll have in this second set. To serve, it's Boris Horik, the junior middle blocker. Moser, soft touch, Donovan, back to Moser. And a point for the Cards.
Referee signaling an error there on Matthew Wilcox, true freshman out of Santa Barbara.
See if the Cards can put some momentum and add to this lead. Try to pull away here, make it a 2-0 lead in the match. Moser, a high toss, over off the front of net, and an ace just like he drew it up.
I mean, you talk about perfectly placed. Nearly broke the ankles of Wilcox. Set up on the front line on the far side. Wrapped around the entire net and just landed right in the middle of everybody.
Moser again. Off the front of the net. All intensity, all speed, all velocity and power on his serves. Sometimes that's going to happen to you. Taylor Marks to serve for Cal Lutheran. Smithers, Donovan, Hester. Kingsmen were there the other way. Weber. On the North Central side, Moser coming across. No response from Taylor Marks. Another point generated by the Donovan to Moser connection.
Hester and Smithers going to check out. Martinez back in to serve.
Martinez over. The libero Marks on first touch, and no response from Martinez on that kill from Michael Stahl. Stahl had 15 kills against NYU on Sunday. And even when you look to last year's matchup as well. High arc for Weber. Fellow number 7, Moser on first touch. And a point for North Central.
But when you go back to last year's matchups, Andy, you take a look at who's leading most of these stats. Yes, Jared Moser, but it's guys who are no longer here. Jake Miller, Jeremy Cardenas atop a good chunk of stats. North Central's pretty new team this year, trying to figure out how they can replicate a good amount of players who brought them all the way to the national championship.
You're even seeing with this just being Vince Simone serving the second home matchup this season. Ben Williams and Jeremy Cardenas are in the house, sitting directly behind the Cardinal coaching staff. Those are Donovan Schmidt, right off the palm to get it over. Marks to Stahl. Responded to by the Cardinals. On Austin Scott. No dice from Marks. Battle at the net. Someone touched it. It was the Cardinals. Oh, they are going to rule it on the Kingsmen. Point Cardinals. Another one of those miscommunications for us back here.
Looked like stall as he was approaching the net. Maybe nicked it with one of his fingers on his right side. He was talking with one of the referees after the call.
Once again, Jordan Cooper. And a diving effort from Schmidt to keep it off the floor, but this time no dice. Another set, should say another kill, attack, and point for Jordan Cooper. Stahl to serve again, just a 1-point Cardinal lead, 17-16, with a 1-0 set lead in this best of 5. Officials wipe off the floor. Stahl's ready to go. Gathered by Scott. Donovan. And what a play by Moser to get it over. Battle at the net. No response. Donovan was going at it with Jordan Cooper. Mistiming the jump once again. And Sam, an incredible effort by Jared Moser just to keep the play alive. Cardinals up 2.
I mean, cross-body, back facing the net, pretty much in line with the net. Awkward angle to send it over, and he's still able to find a way.
Marks to Horick. Scott keeps it off the ground. Battle at the net. Donovan the tip. They're going to award a point to Cal Lutheran. North Central trying to beg their case. Donovan swats that one out of play back to a 1-point set. Jordan Cooper to serve. Donovan up, Scott the touch. No bait on that one from Cal Lutheran. Stahl's got to keep it alive. He does. Got to get it over here. Cooper does. Smithers setting it up. Donovan going to take it himself. But an errant attack ties us at 18.
Donovan pats his chest saying, "My bad, guys," but I love that decision from the senior. Trying it out. No look as well. Doing his best to fool the Kingsmen. Everybody was. Nobody was near the area, but a bit too much power from the shot.
It'll be Cooper again. Looking to give the lead to Cal Lutheran. Off the net and out of play in air. North Central will take the lead right back.
Now serving, number 18, Tyler Donovan.
Here is Tyler Donovan. In the last match that they played against Cal Lutheran, a loss on the 18th. Donovan, second on the team with 7 digs and 38 assists. Known for setting up all the big-time attackers on this team. Received by Scott. Over to Schmidt from Donovan. And the kill and the point. Cards first team to 20. And a timeout taken by Cal Lutheran. 20-10, 20-18, I should say. A 1-0 set lead. Cards looking to go up 2 sets to none. And this top 10 matchup for Division III volleyball. We'll be back in just a few seconds here on Cardinal All Access. Coming out of the timeout, Cardinals have the lead on the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. The number 3 ranked Cal Lutheran Kingsmen, that would be against your number 9 North Central College Cardinals. On Cardinal All Access, Andy Ockham, Sam Corbett back with you. And Sam, a 2-point lead for the Cardinals in this set. What do they have to do to really take control here in these final few points and take that 2 sets to none lead?
Well, they just got to keep playing their style. Only a handful of errors for the Cardinals compared to a good amount for the Kingsmen. You mentioned a 20-10 score on a slip up there. It really felt like a 20-10 game with how the momentum in the Cardinal bench has been bringing all the energy here inside Murner.
And Tyler Donovan, right away, collecting an ace out of the timeout. He has been fantastic tonight as well. And another timeout taken by Cal Lutheran. We'll keep it here for the next 70 seconds. Man, you look at that Cal Lutheran bench. Coach Kevin Judd sees that one high-intensity serve and an ace for Donovan, and immediately they need to go back to the drawing board.
Donovan already an ace. Had one when these two teams faced off in Thousand Oaks. We've mentioned it a couple times already. Cal Lutheran just kind of coming into this game. I mean, they've a very impressive track record, 6-1 and 5 ranked victories. And with North Central, again, it's been the storyline for whether it's the AVCA, Frog Jump. A lot of the conversations have been about the amount of graduated players that North Central has had from a season ago and trying to replicate it. And I feel like Cal Lutheran expected North Central to be playing a bit sluggish as to go back to the Santa Barbara tournament that they had. There we go.
Slugfest.
Quite possibly the greatest team name in college sports. They're just the Slugs.
The Banana Slugs.
Banana Slugs.
For those who don't know, I think they're someone out there is the Banana Slugs. That's pretty cool, though.
But again, the Cal Lutheran just playing overall more experienced. North Central had an alumni match, a couple exhibitions, and are only 1-1 in true games so far this year. And a tough task early on, facing off against the number 3 team in the nation. But again, North Central feels slighted that they're not a top 2 ranking after finishing as the national runner-up.
And Donovan there on an air awards the point right back to Cal Lutheran. You mentioned the end of their season last year, Sam. So exciting on this campus. Went to the Final Four. Took down the number 1 ranked team in the nation, a powerhouse, Vassar, in the semis. 3-0. Pure domination. As Moser on the attack there. Still a 2-point Cardinal lead. And a kill from Jordan Cooper.
You had Smithers on the side and Scott on the back line, but in between the two of them, they both looked at each other afterwards saying, were you going to dive for that? You don't want to see one of those crazy collisions where they're ramming into the shoulders.
Correct to serve. First touch, Scott. Donovan. Schmidt across. And another point collected for Luke Schmidt.
Horrick again able to handle the heat from the Cards, but Wilcox, the freshman, on the front line.
This is a guy you wouldn't mind having serving up too late. Jared Moser for North Central.
Looked to him to potentially target the freshman Wilcox. Middle blocker set up on the front line on the far side.
Marks goes for the quick attack and the kill for Taylor Marks. And after collecting the point, Marks will serve. In their last matchup, Logan, not Taylor, his brother Logan leading the way with 9 kills against the Cardinals in that victory on February 18th. Hester on the attack. There's Taylor to get it over to Stahl. Received by Donovan. Battle at the net kept alive by Cal Lutheran. Little errant from North Central. We're tied at 22.
X-Line showing some frustration there. So he takes a quick look at the scoreboard. He might call a timeout here. Kingsman on a small rally. North Central can't afford to have this continue.
Smithers to Donovan. First reception there, and Austin Scott comes through with the kill and the point.
Looked like he was initially going up with the left. The midair switch to the right had the Kingsman fooled. A crucial point pickup there for Austin. North Central's only played 1 game past the 25-point limit. They lost the second set to Dominican 27-25.
Marks to Stahl. Oh man, the power and velocity on that one from Michael Stahl. We're tied at 23. This has been a fantastic second set from Gregory Arena. Here's Ben Weber. He had 8 kills in this last time these two teams faced off. A little too much on that one there for Schmidt. 24-23. It's now set point for Cal Lutheran. But before we get there, Coach Kyle Exline is going to take a timeout. 24-23, Cal Lutheran regaining the lead. Two teams are so evenly matched, Sam. Continue to mention a top 10 matchup in Division III volleyball on this Friday night in Naperville. Even though the Cardinals took the first set 25-18, you knew the Kingsmen weren't going to go down without a fight. They were going to make this thing close. And these two teams are going to have battles throughout the entire night.
Well, Cal Lutheran's really rallied as this set has progressed. Early on, it was a sub-250 hitting percentage. And then the Kingsmen just rattled off. Now again, a couple good rallies up to a 419 hitting percentage. North Central down to a 313. Big reason, 4 service errors from North Central so far.
Got to keep it clean. Staying disciplined. Not make as many of those keen mistakes. Cardinals were firing on all cylinders, though, with that 7-point win in set number 1. Trying to replicate some of that to close this one out.
Well, comparing the first set to the second, North Central only had 2 attack errors in that entire first set. Now, granted, this second set is about to end, but 5 attack errors for the Cards in this one. Meanwhile, the Kingsmen cleaned up their game. Their numbers have switched. 5 attack errors in the first, only 2 in this one.
It'll be Ben Weber to serve, looking to make it 1-1 in this match. Moser, Donovan, Scott, too much on it. That attack error gives the point to the Kingsmen and the set to them as well. It's now 1-1, 25-23 the score. Just like that, we could be in for a doozy tonight in Naperville. Just a couple minutes away. But before that, Sam, a tough ending for North Central in that second set.
But, I mean, let's be real. Nobody in this gym was expecting this to be a 3-0 match.
No, not at all. I'm from either side. Even though the last time these teams faced off in Thousand Oaks last February, it was 3-0 in favor of Cal Lutheran. Based on how these two teams stack up tonight and how pivotal of a matchup it was, yes, this was not going to be a sweep, no doubt.
I think a big part of that is, too, Cal Lutheran at home is just on another level. But again, so is North Central. They loved playing here in Gregory Arena at home, and being able to speak with some guys after a disappointing end in the Final Four out east, they had said that a part of it was just being in Owings Mills, Maryland, and not being able to compete here in Naperville.
Loving their home gym. Cal Lutheran 3-0 at home this year. 3-1 away from Thousand Oaks. Couple minutes away from the third set. It's 1-1 right now. We're deadlocked in Naperville. Don't go anywhere. It's North Central Men's Volleyball on Cardinal All Access. Set number 3. Bounce to commence here from Gregory Arena. Welcome back into Cardinal All Access. Andy Occam, Sam Corbett with you. We're through 2 sets. Cardinals taking set number 1 by a score of 25-18, 25-23 in favor of the visitors. And Cal Lutheran in the second set. Sam, back and forth affairs. 10 total ties and 3 lead changes in that second set. It really could have gone to either team.
And again, we had talked about this before the break. Both these teams are rather excited to face off against each other because, yes, that last matchup was a 3-0 sweep from the Kingsmen, but then again, North Central's got the all-time edge 5-2. Cal Lutheran, the number 3 team in the nation, still trying to prove some people wrong that they feel that they should be the top team after, again, a very solid start to their campaign, 6-1, 5 ranked wins, but North Central, again, people are going to forget, national runner-up last year. A lot of that storyline, again, we've talked about it so far tonight, graduating a lot of guys, but you've still got the likes of Moser, Donovan, Scott, and the rest of the core to lead this team potentially back to another championship.
It is Jordan Cooper to collect the first point for Cal Lutheran. They get on the board to begin set 3. Smithers collects. Scott flying across from Donovan. Austin Scott, a fantastic second set. 8 kills now for Scott through the first 2 sets on 13 total attacks. He adds to that total here. Cooper Lundahl to serve for North Central. Cooper across. Schmidt, someone's got to get there. Donovan does, nearly getting into the stands, and Luke Schmidt gets it over. Great effort by the Cardinals to keep this rally alive. And a point to the Kingsmen. 2-1. We talked, Sam, 8 kills on 10 attacks for Jared Moser, an 800 hitting percentage in that first set. Through 2 sets, he was only able to collect 3 kills there on 19 total attempts. So Cal Lutheran had more of an answer for Moser. A service error there ties us at 2.
Good job there from Schmidt. When he was on the other side of the court, a couple times when he was on the back line where he could have made a play, let a ball drop in for a Kingsman point. Instead, wisely knows where he is on the court, less than 1 fall past.
Donovan to serve. The libero marks on first touch. Smithers setting up Schmidt. Answer there from Stahl. And another point for the Kingsmen.
Good effort from Smithers trying to dive on the far side, but really nothing he could do. Miss hit from the Cardinals on that far side. Looked like they were trying to send it over.
To serve, the big man, 6'10", Boris Horik. Up and over. Moser. But Ben Weber there on the front line for Cal Lutheran. And that battle won by Schmidt and the Cardinals. We're tied at 3.
Yeah, Schmidt a little bit frustrated. Only a .235 hitting percentage for him so far today. So for him to get a 1-up on the Kingsmen, a bit more energy there behind that fist pump and scream after that point.
Here's Jared Moser to serve. High toss from the 5th-year senior and over. Played off by Weber. Flying across Stahl. Mitchell Hesser in the front line say no. Back-to-back points for the Cards. Put them up 1.
Hesser just putting his body on the line. Again, that was a really strong approach from Stahl, but he left his feet just a bit early. You could tell mid-air he mistimed his jump a little bit, rushing that attack off the right side.
And one by Moser, first touch. No need for all 3 there from Lutheran. Moser flying across from Donovan once again. Make it 3 straight for North Central. They're up 5-3. Moser again on the floor. Hester, Schmidt, Donovan, the libero Smithers, and Scott. Weber once again, first touch over. Schmidt on the attack, responded to by the Kingsmen. Weber up, Smithers on the ground to receive it. Donovan to Schmidt, point Cardinals. And Jared Moser looks to the crowd and says, "We want more, keep feeding me." Another long pause before a Jared Moser serve. And an ace!
Boy, he's feeling himself right now. That swagger after the ace. You can just look at the difference on the benches. All the Cards up on their feet, high energy. Kingsmen look little bit shocked on the right side.
Oh man. Too much on that one. Out of our camera shot, Moser shot that one up 7 rows into the grandstands behind the Cal Lutheran bench.
I mean, he is draining a lot of energy on all of his approaches, whether it's sending the ball up 50 feet in the air or just skying across the court to send it. That's why he's taking all those long pauses. That one, though, just a bit too much.
Marks on the serve. Scott flying across. Another kill for Austin Scott. Look at all the fun Jared Moser's having, Sam. You had to think that he saw this and said, how could I possibly leave this program and this sport that I love when I have an opportunity to continue playing it?
I mean, he's a different animal. I'm seeing him get extra work in after team practices are done. As soon as the team lift will wrap up, Jared's doing extra stuff. He's just a different guy. Really a difference maker for a program.
And Donovan Scott were on the floor for quite a while there. Never got back to the Cardinals side, but a point for the Kingsmen, stopping that rally.
I think Cal Lutheran's going to take a sigh of relief knowing Jared Moser's not going to serve again.
Was number 16, Michael Shevs, quickly on for a serve. Him and Hester are out. Cooper Lundahl back in. It's Lundahl, Scott, the libero Smithers, Schmidt, Donovan, and Moser on the floor for North Central. Weber to serve. Received by Scott. Donovan to Lundahl. Attack there. First touch Moser. Donovan to Lundahl. Too much there from Cooper.
Lundahl was set up with a bit of a line drive set. I think he was looking for a bit more arc on that one. Had to rush his attack.
Donovan to Lundahl again. They're trying to get that connection to work, but Cal Lutheran has all the answers. Front line. Nice play there by Austin Scott. Donovan flying across. Jared Moser. He's on fire. Cardinals back up 3. It'll be Luke Schmidt to serve for North Central. Wide touch from him, received by Weber. Coming across, Stahl. Stays just inside the lines for a kill and a point.
And most of Stahl's attacks have been cross court. Smithers on that far side just caught on his heels.
Checking back in the outside hitter, a freshman from Sacramento, Vince Simone to serve. Scott, Donovan, back to Scott. And another point for North Central. After collecting the points, Scott to serve for North Central. There's Jordan Cooper, controlled by Scott for the Cardinals. Over to Schmidt. Another strong attack. Back-to-back points for North Central.
A bad error just right through the hands of Ben Weber on the Kingsman side of the court. When you're trying to kill a rally, any easy mistake like that is just going to help feed into the Cardinals' energy.
And working around the block there, Boris Horick. Jared Moser was there at the net, but able to maneuver it and put the Kingsmen within 5.
Schmidt just a hair late. Reading Horick's movements, was on the side, had to go a bit towards the middle, just a fraction late.
Scott handles the serve to Donovan over to Moser. Deflected by a Kingsman and no response. Point for North Central. Lundahl collects from Marks. Schmidt cross to Moser. It's a miscommunication. Moser barking at Lundahl right after that one, and another point for Cal Lutheran.
Yeah, immediately got heated, not happy with the set there. Yeah, North Central's trying to just escape the Kingsmen, but it feels like they can't get a lead that's bigger than 4 without Cal Lutheran rallying back.
The exception of that first set, they were up 7 at one point, ended up winning it by 7. And Moser's attack denied. Big 6'10" Boris Horik turns that one away on the front line. Back within 2 are the Kingsmen. Put up 3 straight points, was 12-7 at one point, now we sit 12-10. Smithers to Donovan to Hester. Kingsmen sprawling out all over the place, but none of them can handle the attack at another point.
Hester with a slight hesitation move at the apex of the jump. That back line saw 2 different Kingsmen dive in 2 different ways, not knowing how that ball was going to ricochet.
It will be Donovan to serve. Through 2 sets, Donovan, 25 of the Cardinals, 27 assists, and 9 digs as well for the senior. Coach Kyle Exline not really going into his bench. The only 2 that have come in not in the starting lineup. Michael Shevs, who's played in the first and third set, and Gabriel Martinez, who's seen action in every set so far. And Horik, how about that? Across his body, momentum taking him the other way. A lot of velocity on that one for the kill.
Moser trying to meet him at the net once again. Smithers just playing a bit too far back.
Horik again over. Donovan to Hester. And a last-second point awarded to the Cardinals. You now see Taylor Marks walking over to the side judge in front of us, trying to get an explanation or explain his case. Now we'll see the officials meet up.
The official who made the call on the left side of the screen. So all 4 of them are going to situate and figure out what exactly the call was. Again, both teams went to celebrate and then both turned back.
And after a confrontation, point swings the other way. It'll go to Cal Lutheran. Just like that, it goes from a 14-11 set to 13-12, which is where we stand now.
And now the Cards are celebrating. Both teams get a point. Let's move on.
We need to get a serve going here so this point can't be debated over anymore. If they don't change it before Jared Moser can get it off, it'll be back to a 1-point set, but you know, Jared Moser's licking his chops. He just wants to get it over the net and keep a 3-point lead North Central's way. Off the top of the net, the libero Marks keeps it alive. Cooper coming across, tipped by the front line. Mitchell Hester, Austin Scott were there, and a point for the Kingsmen.
Moser before that serve, again, he was just looking angry that he was delayed more than in the zone,
trying to get in his rhythm. It'll be number 1 Taylor Marks to do the serving. High arcing toss. Smithers the reception. Moser wasn't ready for that one at all. He miraculously gets it over. Didn't even have to jump there. Smithers diving, keeps it up with his foot. And Scott gets it over. I think they're calling a double hit on the Cards.
Looked to be a delayed call.
So I think it got Smithers' hand, and then it got him in the back foot.
Because
a miraculous play.
After the Cardinals had sent it back, that was when the head coach, Kevin Judd, called out for the 2.
Donovan to Hester, mistiming his jump, still able to get it over. Schmidt and Hester working front line to keep this battle at the net. Scott there, denied. Good rally between these 2 teams. Donovan to Schmidt, and that one's near the scorer's table. Point North Central. Michael Shevs in along with Cooper Lundahl. The libero Smithers will check out along with Mitchell Hester. Moser able to collect that one, falling on his backside. Donovan to Lundahl to get it over. Marks to Stahl. Point Kingsman.
Schmidt recently doing a better job guarding the edge. Kingsman just landing a shot perfectly. But again, just like that, all of a sudden, 1 point game.
It'll be Ben Weber to serve, and we'll look to tie this set up at 15. Scott Moser near miscommunication. Austin on the reception. Donovan to Scott. The kill and the point.
Tipped at the front line. Again, third time we've seen Cardinals targeting that freshman, Wilcox. You're seeing the upperclassmen on the Kingsmen talking to him, saying, take a deep breath, kid.
Hasn't seen a lot of action. They have their main 8 that they rotate with. Wilcox not one of them, but getting extended time today for Cal Lutheran, and they're able to collect a point there, keeping it within 1. Back and forth we go. Vince Simone, the outside hitter, another freshman. Him along with Wilcox. They have 2 of them on the floor now as Simone gets that one over. Battle at the net. Donovan keeps it alive. No double hit there. Schmidt, cross court. Scott. Rejected by Boris Horick and the Kingsmen. And of course, there's more miscommunication on a call, Sam, because why not?
As soon as Horick's arms went up to celebrate the point, referee said, actually, wait. I feel like they might be debating a potential attack error on Horick.
This is the second conference we could be having between the officials in this set alone. We've had quite a few in this match where initials have pointed one way, but the call has been flipped since.
This time, only 2 of them conversing. Not all 4, but seeing some of the North Central players just laughing at the situation. There's only so much you can do.
See Kyle Exline looking over. Now the initial call will stand. It is with Cal Lutheran.
Moser's going to try to get an explanation. That's a tough spot for both Lundahl and Schmidt, who are set up on this near side of the court. Just landing right in between them, no man's land. One of those balls where 50-50 ball, but it ends up being nobody's.
And we've seen Moser's the representative for the Cardinals usually when it comes time to talking to the side judge in front of us, and it's Taylor Marks on the Cal Lutheran side. Vince Simone to serve again. We're tied at 16. First touch Moser. Donovan to Lundahl. Cal Lutheran has a play here now. Sprawling out to keep it alive, Moser. Donovan to Scott. Tipped by the Kingsmen. Got to get it over here. Horick does. But point Cardinals, that one beyond the back line.
Yeah, Horick rightfully frustrated from his point of view, but from up here, easy to tell. Looked like Moser dove underneath that ball.
Number 1,
17-16 Cardinals, Scott to serve. Hailing all the way from Waldorf, Maryland is the junior.
It was a homecoming for him. They made the trip out to Owings Mills.
He's on the floor for North Central alongside the libero Smithers, Luke Schmidt, Tyler Donovan, Cooper Lundahl, and Jared Moser. Before his serve, some more subs being made. Wilcox is out along with Simone for Cal Lutheran. Back in the libero Marks and Ben Weber.
Early we were praising Jared Moser, but quietly Austin Scott, 13.5 points, but not able to log another one there.
A service error for Scott ties us at 17. Stahl to serve. Just outside the line. Good awareness and discipline in the back row from Jared Moser to let that one be.
Full intensity until the last possible second when he's able to align himself with that sideline and just lets it fall harmlessly out.
Martinez to serve, clipping it over the net. Way too much on that attack from Jordan Cooper.
Jordan Cooper exchanging some words.
And now you see the representative. There's Taylor Marks.
Saying, let me handle this. But again, any other Cardinal on the court, I think Jordan Cooper is rightfully upset. But when you've got the big head of hair of Gabriel Martinez up there, maybe give him a haircut, but certainly didn't touch him.
19-17 timeout Cal Lutheran. The Cardinals with a 2-point lead look to go up 2-1 in this top 10 match. Don't go anywhere. North Central Volleyball coming your way next on some Cardinal All Access. (19-17) Cardinals. So we're back for the third set from Gregory Arena on Cardinal All Access. Andy Ockham, Sam Corbett with you. Looking for a 2-1 lead for North Central against the number 3 team in the country, the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. And complete miscommunication between Horick and Marks. Nobody was there to take care of that attack. North Central, the first team to reach 20. It's again Gabriel Martinez. Another freshman getting some of his first college action. So a nice job for North Central these last couple points. Donovan to Moser. What else is new? Point North Central.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Back up to a 4-point lead. Another timeout called. The energy back up, swinging North Central's way here at home.
21-17. It was 19-17 heading into that timeout, and that coaching staff for Cal Lutheran, led by Kevin Judd, was hoping that timeout would spark something, but instead it added more energy and momentum to the North Central side. They're 4 points away from making this 2-1 on the match. They got more ranked action tomorrow against another non-conference foe, a little closer than Thousand Oaks, California, right down the street. The number 16 ranked Benedictine Eagles will be coming in Naperville, Gregory Arena. This is the second straight match right now of 5 straight matches here at home for the Cardinals. They'll get 2 more NACC schools alongside Benedictine the rest of the week. Tuesday, the 30th here against Aurora, and Thursday against Concordia, Wisconsin. Sam, looking forward to working those 2 midweek games with you next week.
I mean, it's really a shame that we're not going to be able to call the Benedictine game, or at least me and you won't be able to call the Benedictine game tomorrow. That is going to be a real fun battle of Chicago and Maple Avenue.
We had that circled on our calendars the minute this schedule came out, but unfortunately, North Central basketball comes a call. The Cardinals will be in Chicago tomorrow against North Park. A lot of winter sport action on campus, and the spring sport's getting ready to roll as well.
Less than a month from North Central baseball opening day, as crazy as that is.
It's the Memphis trip for you guys, first on the docket.
First pitch against Webster, February 23rd. That's crazy.
Less than a month away. Horick, Moser, and Hester going for the double block up top. Hit that one out of play. It's trying to get some momentum back at the Kingsmen. It'll be Jordan Cooper. One of Cal Lutheran's brightest players. Way too much on that one. Service error puts North Central back up 4 and will send Tyler Donovan to serve.
Already got 1 ace earlier in this set.
Let's see what the senior from Lindenhurst has up his sleeve. Just outside the back line. Each team will trade some service errors. Make it back to just a 3-point set. Hork to serve. Received by Moser. Donovan to Schmidt. Point Cardinals.
Ball bounced around on that front line. Hork, who's about to check out, rather frustrated with his teammate, Michael Stahl, on that far side, just not able to get any sort of good contact on the ball once it approached him after falling off that front line.
Here's Moser, that high toss right off the front of the net.
That's Moser's 5th service error of the match so far.
It'll be Ben Weber. Sid Jordan Marks, the junior. High toss. That jump serve to get it over. Donovan, light touch. Scott, the front line doing work there for the Kingsmen on that double block.
Frustrated miss hit off the right side of Scott. And a smart timeout here from North Central. Can't let the easy mistake snowball into something big, especially when we've seen Cal Lutheran rally from behind already.
23-21 Cardinals are going to go up 2-1 in this top 10 match in Division III volleyball. Don't go anywhere. It's North Central men's volleyball on Cardinal All Access. (23-21) out of the timeout. It will be Cal Lutheran to serve, trailing by 2. Each team has collected a set in this one. Andy Ockham, Sam Corbett back here with you on Cardinal All Access. And Taylor Marks looks to make it just a 1-point set. Get some jumping jacks out of the Cardinal bench here before this one. Received by Scott. Donovan to Schmidt across, but there's Marks. And point collected from the freshman Matthew Wilcox.
As Hester goes up, obviously leaving the ground, just angling that shot a little bit to his left. Saw Tyler Donovan dive afterward, knowing he could have been there, but Hester stays on the ground. That's all him able to handle. Crucial point there from the Kingsmen.
And there's a crucial point for the Cardinals. Serving error right off the net from Marks. He had a nice little streak going. It'll be Michael Shevs, one of the Cardinals serving specialists on, and will look to collect set point. Marks to Stahl. Kept off the floor by Moser and Donovan. Shevs has to get it over. He does. Marks up, and there's Wilcox flying across, collecting the kill on the point. The freshman hasn't seen a lot of time through these first 7 matches, but my goodness, he's made an impact here in the 3rd set of this one.
A lot of open hardwood in the middle of the court, though. Instead, Wilcox targeting Donovan on the side. It looks like Donovan earlier saw that hole in the middle. Wasn't expecting that attack going his way. Coach Exline, pivotal timeout here. Trying to go up 2-1.
It is 23-24. The last set ended 25-23 in favor of Cal Lutheran. The Cardinals were up for the longest time. Cal Lutheran able to snatch back, get the lead. A timeout was called at 24-23. This exact score in the last set when Cal Lutheran was up a point, and they were able to finish the job on the very next point attempt. Let's see if the Cardinals could do the same here. The first set, if you're just tuning in, where North Central took their 1-0 lead. Pure domination out the gate. It was 25-18, Sam. The Cardinals came out hot, and they were ready to roll.
set to set, you've seen North Central. It's really been all about the service errors. I mentioned Jared Moser, match high 5 of them so far, but when the Cards get into those roles, they're a very dangerous team to face off against. But again, we've seen whether it's Moser on one of his own errors or there's 5 different Cardinals have logged one so far today through 3 sets. But you just see the energy kind of deflate and allow the Kingsmen to rally something themselves.
And once again, it is the outside hitter, senior number 7, Ben Weber, to serve. And there's the set for North Central on a service error. Just like in the last set when it was 24-23 after a timeout, Cal Lutheran picked up the victory on the very next point. North Central responds the favor. They're now up 2 sets to 1 before we go to break, Sam. North Central didn't even have to break a sweat there on that last point.
No, and you see the sigh of relief as the team switch sides. Danny Smithers just goes, finally, takes a deep breath, able to recollect himself before this 4th set.
Cardinals looking to take it 3 sets to 1 in what would be a huge victory against the number 3 team in the country in the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. Don't go anywhere. The 4th set just minutes away on Cardinal All Access. The horn sounds. It's time for the 4th set from Gregory Arena. Welcome back into Cardinal All Access. Andy Occam, Sam Corbett with you. Cardinals able to take the 3rd set and the lead in the match. It's 2-1 as it stands now. Set 1 was 25-18 in favor of the Cardinals. Cal Lutheran fought back in set number 2, 25-23. And that exact same score replicated by the Cardinals in the 3rd set, and that's where we stand now. Sam, huge crucial points down the stretch from the Cardinals. Luke Schmidt had a great 3rd set, but the continued contributions from Jared Moser and Austin Scott is what's carried the Cardinals in this top 10 matchup.
Carrying them despite a good amount of errors, whether they're attack errors or service errors. North Central outpacing the Kingsmen in most of those stats. But again, despite that, it's been the main core. Moser, Donovan, Scott. Anyone else, really. Hester, Schmidt, other guys have stepped up in big ways after the graduation of Jeremy Cardenas, Gabi Aguado, whole bunch of other alumni who are currently right behind the coaching staff.
Right away, Cooper Lundell on the attack. Was received by Michael Stahl, but hit directly backwards. So a point for North Central to start this fourth set. It will be Cooper Lundahl to serve. A jump serve, flying across right to the back row. Marks sets up Stahl. Hester able to keep it alive. Got to get it over here from Lundahl. Moser does. Marks to Marks. Flying across Horick. There's Schmidt on the response. And Moser knifing through, finding the open hardwood and collecting the kill.
Marks getting low enough, trying to handle the velocity from Moser, but handcuffed him to the right side.
The service error there from Cooper Lundahl gets the first point of the set on the board for Cal Lutheran. Moser leading the Cardinals in kills with 16 in this match. Jordan Cooper with 14 for the Kingsmen. And Donovan with the fake out. One of his signature moves as he collects the point.
Doesn't take it too seriously. Immediately after, smiles, shares a laugh with the teammates. Facing off against the number 3 team in the nation, you wouldn't tell by his personality and how he carries himself on the court.
Is Donovan to serve. And there's the work of Luke Schmidt. Able to avoid the block of Taylor Marks. Finding it on the right side of the floor.
Marks' eyes might have been bigger than his stomach there. Over-approached a bit too much, and North Central saw that immediately. Nobody was on the near side for the Kingsmen. Easy kill there for the Cards.
Donovan again. Off the net and right to the back row. There's Horick. Donovan first touch. It'll be the libero Smithers over to Schmidt. And a point ruled to the Kingsmen.
4 hits for the Cards. Some confusion at the net. North Central trying to get away with that one.
Horick to the back row with Scott on the initial reception. Donovan to Scott over. Right side to left. Stahl there. Scott to Smithers, only needing 2 touches there are the Cardinals. And flying across. Marks to Weber, makes it a 1-point set.
Weber getting so high up in the air. Tough angle to approach if you're a Cardinal trying to receive any of those attacks.
Keeping it alive. How about that? Mitchell Hester and the Cardinals thought there was going to be no response there. But there's no on that time from Luke Schmidt.
Stahl frustrated with himself again. Banging his hands together saying, wake up. Good amount of receiving errors for the Kingsmen through each of these 4 sets.
Moser, a high toss, jump serve to the back row. Marks to Wilcox. Front line says no with Hester. Another battle at the line won by the Cardinals. Once again at the net. Kept alive on the North Central side. Donovan crossed to the left side on the outside. Swinging it to Scott. On the left side, Donovan. I believe that's 4 hits for the Cardinals, and it is point awarded to Cal Lutheran.
And some awkward hits from North Central trying to gather themselves. Donovan just had to club it with the left.
Serve coming from Marks, an aggressive jump serve, tossing that high in the air. Donovan right behind him to Schmidt. Tyler able to keep it off the floor. Smithers sets it up behind him for Scott. The Kingsmen are there. Stahl. Scott with the block attempt, but knocks that one out of play. We're tied at 5. Cardinal bench still showing that energy. They don't want this to go to a 5th set tonight in Naperville. They want to reserve some energy for Ben U tomorrow. And a service error there from Marks. It'll be Michael Shevs in to serve. Sam, you got the schedule pulled up next to you. Even though it is a gauntlet of a schedule, you got to know the Cards love that it's all here in Naperville in their home gym.
They're not on the road until February 8th at MSOE.
They're running through basically the entire NACC conference.
And then right after that, 3 more ranked matchups
in a row.
Baldwin Wallace, Nazareth, and Messiah, and a trip to Berea, Ohio. Then obviously some CCIW ranked squads as well, Carthage College and Loris, both receiving votes.
And Cooper Lundahl keeping it in the middle, setting it to the middle of the Cardinals, flying across for the kill.
As a former Firebird, Andy, seeing Carthage College, when you were there, win back-to-back national championships, seeing them now all the way down at 11, what's that like?
It's interesting for sure. Yeah, you mentioned it. They were the kings of Division III volleyball. Schmidt off the front of the net there. They were the kings of Division I volleyball for the 2 years I was there, and gyms were packed. I remember telling you a story earlier that my sophomore year, I didn't go to the game. I had other plans that day, but I knew people, and you never think, not saying it's because D3 sports, it's always such a welcoming environment. People were turned away from trying to enter the gym that night for the national championship up there in Wisconsin. It'll be Moser to Donovan, Lundahl over, point cards. But even though Carthage ranked 11th, when they come to town, and even when the Cards go up to Kenosha, those should be really good conference matchups, and you have to assume that the CCIW will run through either one of those teams.
I just remember the Firebirds coming here the last couple of years, seeing the great student section turn out from the North Central Nest. Remember a couple of years ago, they had the cutouts of the players' faces on cardboard, coordinating with the band for specific songs to be played for specific servers.
Indirectly, that's a message to the North Central student body. Let's get everyone out here for this season.
And there's a reason they love playing at home.
This gym, Gregory Arena, regardless of the sport. We saw it with women's volleyball in the fall, the Rock the House against Concordia Chicago, back on Friday, October 6th.
Over 1,000 people.
Let's see some numbers like that for the men this spring. You know they're going to have big-time matches to be played as a point there for Cal Lutheran. Whether it's in the CCIW tournament, just because it's the conference tournament, this is the CCIW so talented. It goes beyond Carthage and North Central, but those are the real two heavyweights up top. It was hosted here last year. We'd love to see it here again this year, and if it is, the Cardinal faithful, whether it's the community of Naperville, the students, faculty, whoever, they'll be finding their way in Gregory Arena later this spring. And we're tied at 9 after back-to-back points from the Kingsmen.
I just remember seeing how packed this crowd was in the regional last year that was hosted in Gregory against Benedictine and Carthage. And that's the great thing about D3 regional volleyball. You're going to see your opponents a good amount of time, so it being rivalry games in a regional, this place was bumping.
Be Moser to Donovan to Lundahl. I thought he snuck it in. Oh, so close. And a run here, 4 straight points for Cal Lutheran to give them a 2-point lead in this set. Once again, Stahl to serve, going on a streak of his own. First touch, Smithers, the libero. And Donovan, right back to his bread and butter. The fake-out move, the kill.
Big boy Mitch Hester back in for Smithers.
Scott, Donovan, Moser. Point Kingsmen, they're back up 2. And you talk about Cooper Lundahl. After talking to some of the members of this team, normally he's an opposite, but based on positional need, he's playing middle blocker this season. And it's been an adjustment for him, but he has been solid in the very going.
Again, only the 3rd match of the season for the Cards. You can tell Lundahl so far, 0.71 hitting percentage. Again, just trying to get himself used to a new position.
He's all about guys having to step up as well, with Jeremy Cardenas, Ben Williams, Jake Miller, and others leaving. You look to guys like the junior Lundahl. and Mitch Hester to come in and step up. Transfers as well, whether it's Schmidt or Smithers. Coach Exline looking to finate his roster for the season. Donovan near the stands to keep that one alive, and Moser whiffing on that attack. And quite the stretch run here. Cal Lutheran in the fourth set looking to tie it at 2 and force the fifth and final set is standing with a 4-point lead right now. 14-10 timeout. Cardinals don't go anywhere. It's North Central volleyball on Cardinal All Access. Back here from Gregory Arena, Cal Lutheran to serve 14-10 in favor of the visitors in this fourth set. Andy Ockham, Sam Corbett with you on Cardinal All Access. There's Jordan Cooper on the serve. Haven't called his name out a lot lately. Moser, the attack, but a block. The denial from Boris Hjork. 15-10. Starting to pull away here are the Kingsmen, Sam.
For once, Kingsman bench showing signs of life, but North Central going back to the jumping jacks, trying to
6, 7, get him up. We'll get the basketball hoop. Smithers on the reception there, it went up.
That rim is live, folks.
Yeah. And Mitchell Hester, it went right from back to front row. He had no idea the misdirection threw him off completely. Another timeout taken is out of the timeout. Back-to-back points taken by Cal Lutheran. Well, Sam, as it stands right now and as it's trending, it's still early, but it looks like this match is going to go the distance, as they would say in fighting here tonight.
Because of course.
Yeah, why would it not? A top 10 matchup in Division III men's volleyball. The number 3 Cal Lutheran Kingsmen, your number 9 North Central College Cardinals. And we'll get another ranked matchup tomorrow, as we mentioned. Benedictine Eagles coming to town. I should say staying in town, right down the street, coming from Lyle.
Now, if this goes 5, North Central hasn't seen a match go to 5 sets since that regional semifinal against Benedictine. That was back on April 21st.
Earlier on in the season. And you got to wonder that you look at there's multiple ways for strategy in terms of just scheduling. People don't think scheduling matters, but it does, whether it's ranked opponents, unranked opponents. You have to think, even though, you could say being more vulnerable, being more tired on the Cal Lutheran side, you look at their resume and who they've played so far in just the first 10 to 14 days of this season. You have to believe, at least early on, that's going to give them advantage. You know, they have more chemistry. They've played together longer. For the Cardinals, we talk about the three of the main cogs from last year's team that are out. So not only are they playing on just a few matches, they have to deal with moving parts. And it's one thing, Sam, to play together in practice, as point awarded to Cal Lutheran. It's one thing to run these sets in practice, but getting game reps, no matter what the sport is, it's never going to be the same. So this team is far from its finished form, and they just need to get comfortable playing on the same floor together.
Well, I think, too, you look at how the season starts with being swept by Dominican. Last year in River Forest, I know that was a great atmosphere for a ranked matchup. The Stars not receiving votes this year, and talking with Tyler Donovan after that match, he just felt stunned mostly. Like you said, still trying to figure out the rest of the pieces for a successful 24 season.
Donovan to serve that one off the top of the net, but kept alive. There's Weber, turned away by Austin Scott in the back row. An athletic play from the junior, and that leads to a Cardinal point. It'll be Donovan to serve again. Cardinals in a 5-point hole. The effort from Austin Scott there, earning a much-needed North Central point. Donovan up and over, right off the front of the net.
Another service error for the Cardinals today.
Boris Horik. First touch Smithers. Donovan, Scott flying across. Too much on that one. Out of play, point, Cal Lutheran.
Like the idea of targeting the back corner. Nobody really in the area. Like the eyes lit up just a bit too much.
But Moser coming across again, he's able to get the point. Cal Lutheran's really done a good job, Sam, putting more bodies on the side of the floor that Moser is. They know if they can wipe him out or limit him, North Central's going to have to go to other avenues to generate scoring.
Well, he feels much more comfortable going straight down on an opponent. That allows him to get the most velocity rather than trying to go cross court, giving a returner more time to react.
Behind from Marks to Stahl. Hester and Scott there on the double block. Weber turned away by Hester. Smithers setting up Schmidt. Light touch. Front to back row kept alive. This time of the jump by Marks, just able to get over himself. Donovan back to Scott. They're really trying to pin for those corners. And there's Matthew Wilcox coming through. Back right corner. Taking care of business in the first team to 20 in this set is Cal Lutheran.
Tough assignment for Moser, like you said. Everybody near the front, fifth year, all by himself on that back line, trying to protect half a court.
Marks, when played by Moser, might have gone out. Touch there, trying to go cross-court attack from Austin Scott. And there's a cross-court kill from the powerful Michael Stahl.
One of the biggest leads that the Kingsmen have had all night.
Puts them up 8, 21-13 in favor of the visitors. High tossing. Serve there. Donovan to Hester, automatic. Cardinals trying to gather some momentum. Set's not over yet.
Michael Shev's back in.
We'll see what the senior outside hitter from Brooklyn, or Brookfield, Wisconsin, I should say, can do here. Weber receives to Marks, back to Weber. Front row going to work there for the Cardinals. That was Lundahl and Scott in the area code, but knocked out of play. Back to an 8-point Kingsman lead. To the back row, back middle. Weber to Moser. There's Jared flying across. And blocked there by Luke Schmidt. On the right outside.
Boy, Jordan Cooper's having a frustrating night. Immediately going up there, thinking he's skying through everybody, going to get a nice kill. Attack is immediately rejected. Hits back off of him. Hits the court. Cards get a point.
And pounding it to the right side there was Matthew Wilcox.
A couple times tonight, Smithers has been caught flat-footed.
The new libero for the team this year, the transfer from Concordia University, Irvine. To serve Vince Semien. And Simone, that would be. Scott going for the cross-court attack. Kingsmen have an answer. Battle at the net. That was Jordan Cooper. On the far side from us, the left side, but a violation there on North Central makes it 24-15, puts it to set point for Cal Lutheran.
Cards trying to conserve energy for tomorrow's match, but this is either going 5 or it's going to take a lot of energy to win this in 4.
Scott trying to pin that back right corner. Stahl cross court as well. It's been the attacking strategy as of late. Lundahl straight down, killing the point.
Lundahl, the shoulders and the head looking right. Swinging across his body to target the left side. Taylor Marks fell hard trying to keep it up. They're wiping off where he fell.
Couple subs here. The libero Logan Marks back in for the Kingsmen. Austin Scott to serve for North Central. They trail by 8. Straight to the back row on that floating serve. Another kill for Michael Stahl. Will win the 4th set for Cal Lutheran. We get a 5th set tonight from Gregory Arena. It'll be just a few minutes away. Don't go anywhere. North Central men's volleyball and Cardinal All Access. The 5th and final set coming your way right now from Gregory Arena in this top 10 matchup in Division III men's volleyball. Your number 9 North Central College Cardinals, and that's the number 3 Cal Lutheran Kingsmen. Andy Ockham, Sam Corbett here with you on Cardinal All Access, and we said it right before heading to break, Sam. A top 10 matchup against 2 very incredible teams. Of course, we're going to get all 5 sets. It's going to go the distance here tonight in Naperville.
Of course, but North Central's got to clean it up in that 4th set. An 0.57 hitting percentage for the Cards. Meanwhile, a 3.10 mark for the Kingsmen.
Sets at this point, set 1, 25-18 North Central. Sets 2 and 3 were each 25-23. Second set going to Cal Lutheran. Third set going to the Cards, 25-16, the largest margin of any final set in the most recent one. Cards were up by a couple at one point. It was 9-7. Cal Lutheran went on a run.
Too many service errors against the Cards allowed Cal Lutheran to gain some momentum.
Kept alive at the net. Mattered all of you. First to 15. And the Cardinals begin the 5th set with the first point. And not like points are crucial in general, but Sam, with it not going to 25, just going to 15, it matters to get hot early. It'll be Donovan again. First touch from the libero Marks, flying across. Horek with the left. Donovan the response. Horick again. Kept off the floor by Schmidt. Hester to Moser. He wins the battle at the net, but kept alive by the Kingsmen. Hit a block. Luke Schmidt. Mitchell Hester. It's a block party here in Naperville.
Boy, that whole rally, the Cards, yes, they were brought down to the ground. Everybody, though, great hand-eye coordination. Everybody staying true. Able to set somebody else up and then win it at the end. Luke Schmidt lets out a triumphant yell.
The emotion really being let out by the Cardinals for these last 2 points. And there's Jordan Cooper.
And I don't know if you saw Danny Smithers drop to the ground and slam the court a couple of times.
Jordan Cooper leads the match. He's got now his 20th kill. Yeah, you would think from the emotion shown by Smithers and other Cardinals after that second point as a service error from Michael Stahl. This is a matchup in April in the NCAA playoffs. And here's Moser to serve for North Central. Here the Moser chance raining down from the Cardinal bench, that one off the front of the net.
Such a dangerous player when he's at his best, but that's the 6th service error against Moser so far today.
That's all about his game, though. Pure power from number 7.
He's accountable for just about half of the service errors from the Cards as a whole.
Moser was able to handle that serve, but bumped it over on the first touch and left the front row for the Cardinals defenseless. Back-to-back points for Cal Lutheran. We're tied at 3.
Yeah, Mitch Hester just a bit too antsy. Left the ground a bit too early.
Moser sprawling out. First touch there on that one. Austin Scott's got to get it over on the cross-court pass. He does not. 3 straight points now for the Kingsmen. We're back to the jumping jacks on the Cardinals sideline. I count 6, 7, 8. As Cooper gets it over now. And a service error. The jumping jacks. A helping hand in that one. We're tied at 4. That is the one thing in our first year of covering volleyball, Sam. I love the bench antics. After getting a point or prior to each serve, you know the Cardinals bring them. Michael Shev's in to serve. First touch provided by Logan Marks across. And Ben Weber trying to pin it at that back corner nearest to us, collecting the point.
Shev's a bit too towards the middle on his positioning there. Weber targeting the edge, gets it to fall.
Horick sprawling out to receive the serve with Smithers. Kept alive at the net. There's Cooper Lundahl. Point North Central.
Talked about him earlier. A very low hitting percentage in that 4th set. He's pretty much playing out of position. He's got to learn a whole new style. Listed as an opposite on the roster. He's been playing as an outside early on in this season.
And a good fake out there for Matthew Wilcox going up for it. Another cross-court kill for Ben Weber. It's one of those things, Sam, where for Coach Kyle Exline, it's not necessarily needing to play everyone in position. He wants his best 6 or 7 out there in the lineup and on the floor. And if that means guys having to make adjustments, he was aware of that being necessary earlier on in this offseason. It's important to have guys like Lundahl on the floor no matter where they are. Donovan setting for Moser, flying across. So powerful for that kill.
I mean, jumping from the back line to the front. That's a scary sight to see through a net. Jared Moser flying across the court.
6-6 our score. Austin Scott to serve for the Cardinals. Lofts that one over to the back row. Stahl with the kill and the point. Once again, Sam, targeting that back row was just Austin Scott there. He had no one in the area code to help him out.
It looked like Schmidt was contemplating diving backward, trying to get contact on it. But again, Scott by himself.
And Scott's able to handle that serve and get it over on the first touch. And Marks at the net, not even having to jump to get that one over. There's Jared Moser. An outside swing collecting the kill on the far back corner.
Give Austin Scott credit. North Central needed to call timeout there. His goggles looked like one of the lenses had popped out. Trying to pop it back in and also clean them off. Listen, as a goggle wearer myself, I understand the pain.
A brief stoppage in play here. Number 20, the freshman from Houston, Texas, Gabriel Martinez.
See, he's got those nice pairs. Those pop right back in. Mine popped out once in high school in a playoff game on the mound. Took about 45 minutes. My trainer was like, we can duct tape it back together. I was like, I'm not duct taping my glasses.
Did you end up duct taping them?
Ended up squinting. Going glassless.
Scott's able to get those cleaned off with the assist of his head coach, Kyle Exline. Moser keeps it up, and there's nobody there to keep it off the floor. Hester and Donovan were close, but not close enough.
Quick timeout. At the halfway point.
We're switching across. 8-7 the score. Cal Lutheran the first to 8, and the energy picking up here in Gregory Arena. This definitely worth the price of admission for the fans in attendance tonight. If they're enjoying this one, they need to make sure to make it out. Same place, 5 o'clock.
You almost said same time.
I was not thinking the same time. I knew it wasn't the same time. So I was talking to Tyler Donovan this week, and he kept asking us, hey, you going to be here? It's no, we're in Chicago. It's like, well, the game's at 3 o'clock, and he tells me, hey, actually it's at 5. I don't know if that changes your guys' availability.
Tell you what, we'll figure out a way to get back in time.
That went off the front of the net. Want to tune in at some point. Cardinals get back-to-back. They get a top 10 matchup tonight and a top 25 matchup.
I think if we explain our situation to an Illinois State trooper, we could get a police escort back from North Park.
Make it happen. We'll see. It'll be Donovan to serve. 8-8 the score. Of course, these teams are neck and neck in the fifth and final set. Back left corner. It was Cooper on the first touch. And flying across to collect the cross-court kill. We're seeing a lot of those in these last couple sets, Sam.
That one just barely landed right on the edge. Austin Scott, closest guy there. Felt like he had a good enough awareness for his positioning on the court, but again, that one was just perfectly knifed through.
Donovan to Hester. Passing it to the middles. Utilizing them as well. Hester coming across. We're tied again at 9.
The fact that Hester as well doesn't fully swing through, it's a quick retraction. The amount of power that he's able to put into his kills, very impressive. The big fella, 6'7", 250 right in the middle.
Confrontation there in the back middle. Smithers able to receive that attack from Cooper, but knocks it directly into the stands. The first to 10 in this fifth set is Cal Lutheran. The timeout taken by the Cardinals. 10-9 our score in the fifth set. Don't go anywhere. Just 70 seconds away from getting back into the action here on Cardinal All Access. Back from timeout, 10-9 Cal Lutheran in the fifth set on Cardinal All Access. Andy Ockham, Sam Corbin here with you, and back to serve for Cal Lutheran. It's number 16, Jordan Cooper. And we're back to the jumping jacks. Break out the good luck charm. First touch, Moser. Battle at the net. Hester. And to keep it alive. Donovan to Scott and over. Near the back row. Cross-court pass on the Cal Lutheran side. Smithers to Scott. Nice rally between these two teams. Marks, cross-court again to Weber. That connection's been vital tonight. And no dice on that attack from Scott. Back to a 2-point Kingsman lead.
As he was falling, only able to get his right hand on the ball. Tried to curl his wrist so he could get it back over on the court, but a bit too late. Hit off the fingers instead. Got sent towards the Kingsman bench.
We're getting an NCC chant. Try to revitalize. Get this group back into it. Need some momentum the Cardinal way. Cooper to serve again. And the service error will do just that. Cardinals at 10 as well. And Michael Shevs subbing in to serve here. A crucial point in this set and in this match. First touch from the libero Marks. Weber denied by Schmidt. Point Cardinals were tied at 11.
Nobody back there for the Kingsmen. Everybody targeting the middle and up front.
This match has been absolutely spectacular. A joy to watch. Shifts to serve. And catching flat-footed in the back row, Jared Moser. Boris Horek collects the kill. Back to a 1-point lead for Cal Lutheran. And a service error ties us back at 12.
First service error for Horek tonight. We talk about back and forth. This crowd goes from over anxious whenever North Central scores to rather solemn as soon as the Kingsmen rack up any point. Just like that, though. Back and forth, back and forth.
Ben Weber, the outside hitter, keeping it on his side, the left side. So many ties, so many lead changes in this fifth and final set. To serve, Taylor Marks. Moser, Donovan, Lundahl, kept alive by the Kingsmen. Like I say, both teams celebrated after that one.
Yeah, it looked like as it was falling out, a Cardinal tipped it. Heard slight extra contact on the ball as it was falling out. Just enough, though, to where North Central felt like they had a case to challenge it, or at least try and plead their case, but feels like it's been a while since we've talked about the officials, so.
Yeah, we've had some tonight where it's just been in terms of calls. The switching of calls, originally point one way, ends up being another, or just a delayed call. Who got the point there? Nonetheless, 14-12 Kingsmen. They're at set point. They're also at match point, Sam. Cardinals need to be more on the defensive mode here, finding ways to stay alive. They were leading 2-1 at one point after taking the third set 25-23. Cal Lutheran came out firing, playing from behind, winning the fourth set by 9 points, 25-16. They break their huddle early. Coach Kyle Exline utilizing the entire 75 seconds that he gets. It'll be Taylor Marks to serve, as he has been for the last few points now.
Cal Lutheran, 5 service errors in this fifth set. Marks responsible for 2 of them on the day.
To stay alive for the Cardinals. Marks to Smithers on first touch. Donovan sprints over to get it to Scott. Playing passive to get it over. Scott at the net. Marks to Weber. Point Cal Lutheran. Set and match to the Kingsmen.
And off the right forearm of Tyler Donovan. He saw an opening on the right side, tried to beat his man to the ball. Just left the ground a bit too early, but certainly not a reason for North Central to hang their head, taking the number 3 team in the nation to 5 sets. Nearly going the full distance in this 5th set as well.
Fantastic match to watch overall. Scores across the 5 sets. North Central took set number 1 in convincing fashion, 25-18. Sets 2 and 3 were both 25-23. The first, set 2 being in favor of Cal Lutheran, set 3 in favor of the Cards. The Kingsmen took set 4, 25-16, and they take the 5th and final set, 15-12. Cardinals back in action tomorrow, 5 p.m. here in Naperville in Gregory Arena against the number 16 team in the nation, the Benedictine Eagles. For everyone that tuned in to tonight's coverage of North Central men's volleyball on Cardinal All Access, my partner Sam Corbett, I'm Andy Yackham. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.